What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you doing today? I hope you're excited because we're back with the third video of the series. We have the top 5 2021 Young Guns I think have a chance to spike in value during the 2023-24 NHL season. You guys absolutely killed it on the first 2 videos of this series. We went over the 2023 Young Guns and the 2022 Young Guns I think have a chance to go up this season. If you haven't checked those out already, make sure you go check them out. And thank you all so much for 950 subscribers. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. It means the world to me if we get that number. So if you haven't already, slap that subscribe button, slap that like button, drop a comment down below who you think in 2021 is going to gain value next season, and make sure you follow us over on Instagram at ArcSportsCards as well. And without further ado, let's get into my 5 2021 Young Guns I think will go up in value next season. Coming in at number 5 on our list is going to be somebody that signed a fat extension during last season. It's going to be Dylan Cozens of the Buffalo Sabres. He's currently the 2C on the team, playing behind Tage Thompson, of course, but this Buffalo team really looking to finally take that next step. And with the strong card market in Buffalo, I really like chances of Dylan Cozens cards gaining value. Just as a reminder, like every single one of these videos and with this list, I'm not a financial advisor. Please make your own decisions when investing into sports cards. But Dylan Cozens currently sells for around $30 Canadian on eBay. That's probably roughly where he should be, but I think if Buffalo can get close to the playoffs, if they can even make the playoffs, I definitely could see this card going up to $50, $60. Cozens last season posted 68 points in 81 games as Buffalo's second-line centerman, and I definitely think he could reach a point per game this season if Buffalo can improve their offense. We'll see how well Buffalo actually does, but taking a look at their lineup here, not much has changed forward-wise for the Sabres from last year. Obviously, the Jack Quinn injury. Dylan Cozens is going to play behind Tage Thompson, so Tage Thompson is going to get most of the attention if the Sabres were to do well and actually make the playoffs. But I think with the Sabres card market, Cozens cards will see an increase. That's the reason I had Paterka on the last video. I didn't just really high on this Buffalo team. I think they have a shot to make the playoffs, and if they do, I think their cards will all go up across the board. Coming in at number 4 on our list is going to be a Vezina-nominated goaltender last season. It's going to be Ilya Sorokin of the New York Islanders from Series 2. His Young Guns currently sells for around $20 Canadian on eBay. I think that's a little undervalued considering how good Sorokin actually is, but I understand why his price is so low. He plays on a not exciting team in the New York Islanders. Sorokin and the New York Islanders defense basically carried them to a playoff spot last season where they got whooped by the Carolina Hurricanes, and I definitely think Sorokin has the ability to do that again. I think he's a top 3 goaltender in the NHL. Let me know who you guys think your top 3 goalies are in the NHL down in the comments below. I'm interested to see who you guys have. Sorokin might be a top 3 goalie in my mind, but goalies for the most part in hockey cards are based off of team success. For example, you look at Akira Schmid, had a big playoff performance. His cards were higher than Sorokin's at certain times during the playoffs last season. So keep that in mind if you are going to pick up some Sorokin cards, that it's mostly based off of team success. If they don't win around the playoffs, it's going to be hard for his cards to gain value. But if they do go on a bit of a playoff run, his cards could definitely jump to $40, $50 in my opinion. If you look at his stats from last season, 924 save percentage, 233 goals against average in 62 games. He's an elite goaltender. It's just whether or not are the Islanders going to be successful next season. If they are, his cards will go up, and I'm pretty confident about that. All right, next up at number 3 on our list is going to be someone who was injured almost all of last season. His cards absolutely tanked because of it. Josh Norris of the Ottawa Senators. People do not forget that Josh Norris exists because he is a heck of a hockey player, and his cards currently sell for around $15 Canadian on eBay, and that's just way too low considering how skilled Norris actually is. Norris is going to slot in and be the second-line center for this Ottawa Senators team, who should improve on their point totals from last season. I believe they missed the playoffs by like 6 points, and it looks like projections show that Norris will be playing alongside Claude Giroux and Drake Batherson. Obviously, at the time of this recording, camps have not opened yet, so these are just projections. But there's no really competition for Josh Norris to lose that 2C spot unless it's a guy like Shane Pinto. But even then, I think they're more inclined to play Pinto on the wing considering he's a lot younger than Norris. Yeah, overall, I like Norris a lot for next season. We can look at his points from last season, but there's not much to say here. Was really expecting a breakout last season, but he only registered 3 points in 8 games before getting injured. And of course, he had the 55 points in 66 the year before. Could definitely see Norris. I think the absolute ceiling for Norris this season would be around point per game. That's the ceiling. Floor maybe 50 points. If he gets to 50 points, probably won't gain too much value. But if the Sens are able to make the playoffs, I just think with the Senators or the Sabres, one of them has to finally make the playoffs, considering I believe Boston got worse. I believe Tampa got worse. I think Toronto actually got better. I think Toronto's probably got a good shot at winning the division. But I just think the Sabres or the Senators, one of them's got to make the playoffs. And if the Senators make the playoffs, I think the cards across the board will go up, and Josh Norris is included in that. Okay, and up next at our number 2 spot is going to be somebody I'm a big fan of. Definitely my biggest dub of last season. It's going to be Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. His Young Guns from Series 1 currently sells for around $60 Canadian on eBay. And when reviewing my video from last year, I did have Jason Robertson on that list. I also had Ilya Sorokin earlier on that list as well. And I was right on both of those players. And Robertson this time last year went for around $40. So he is up a bit from last year. But of course, he established himself as a true superstar last season. I still believe my PSA 10 of Robertson is the highest sold ever when he went on the hot streak in December, January. And we can see in 82 games last season, he scored 46 goals, 109 points. I definitely think he's capable of doing that again on this Dallas Stars team. I think he's capable of 50 goals, and if he does that, this card should gain some value because I think $60 for Robertson is just way too cheap. I think it's strictly because of the market. He is a superstar in this league, and his cards don't really reflect that, at least his Young Gun cards. His higher-end stuff might be more expensive and reflect his superstar ability, but I just think his Young Guns is undervalued. Another reason Jason Robertson's cards have dipped back down to $60 is because he did not perform well in the playoffs, and that's the last thing everyone remembers about him. So if you can find a way to produce in the playoffs next season, his card should definitely be worth more than $60 Canadian, and honestly, he's the face of this franchise. If the Stars are doing well in the regular season, they're going to be looking at Jason Robertson scoring all the goals, and I like what the Stars did in the offseason, bringing in Matt Duchene, Craig Smith, as well as their farm system, guys like Logan Stankoven. I doubt Stankoven makes it this year, but maybe Maverick Bourque, and then of course Wyatt Johnson. I love this Stars team. All right, coming in at number 1, if you guys watched our first 2 videos of this series looking at 2023 and 2022 Young Guns, you'll know I've mentioned Jack Hughes a couple times, and looking for a breakout player similar to Jack Hughes, I think this is the most likely player to replicate Jack Hughes' success. It's going to be Tim Stutzle from Series 2. Currently sells for around $60 Canadian. I think that is very reasonable. The thing I like so much about Stutzle is he checks almost all of the boxes when I look at sports cards. He's the face of his franchise. He's the face of the Ottawa Senators. He was a high draft pick, 3rd overall by the Ottawa Senators. Had a solid season last year and should only build on that next season. He's on a young emerging team in the Ottawa Senators that could definitely make the playoffs next season, and on top of that, he's in a good card market. I knew Tim Stutzle had a good season last year, but I didn't know it was this good. 90 points in 78 games. When I did the research for this video, I thought it was around like 82, maybe a little below a point per game, but well over a point per game here last season, and I think 100 points is definitely in the cards for Stutzle. And if this Ottawa team makes the playoffs, he's the face of the franchise. I think it's a for sure, as long as he's healthy, that his cards will go up if Ottawa makes the playoffs. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is our 5 2021 Young Guns I think could go up in value during the 2023-24 NHL season. Let me know down in the comments who you think out of 2021 can go up next season. I definitely didn't mention everyone in this video. Definitely some other good names I didn't mention, like Kaprizov. So let me know down in the comments who's your favorite Young Guns out of 2021 to go up next season. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the support. I'll talk to you all later.